to Philly the podcast. You already know I'm here, bro. Shout out to Philly the podcast. You know, your boy Tom is in the building, representing straight from Teaneck, LIB. You dig? Um,
What's good, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and we back with another one. You know what I'm saying? And today I got my boy Brandon. You know what I mean? If you don't know him, he is, and I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna put it out there. He's part of Philly podcast, whether he wants to or not. If you guys aren't OGs, he was on the podcast when we were just doing audio. You know what I'm saying? So you might heard his voice, but now you can put a mug to the voice. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, Brandon? Introduce yourself, brother.
Hey man, how's it going? It's Brandon, been helping out, but it's a pleasure to be on here and talking football.
Heck yeah, man. So we're gonna get right into it, bro. We're gonna get right into it. So obviously we had a crazy off season, man. A lot of new players, obviously had the draft and everything. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about how everything happened, who we got? Does anybody, stand out to you?
Yeah, so I think we had a pretty good offseason. I know the goal was to get younger and faster, and I think how we really put together a team that is younger than last year. We were one of the oldest teams out there and faster. I mean, all the wide receivers we drafted were 4.40s and under, and the younger players we got on defense, upgraded at corner. I think we made a lot of good moves. How about what do
Definitely.
you think, man?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know me, I like Jalen Raeger, but I also like the depth that he picked up. I feel like me and you, I know we were kind of watching. We were in different states at the time, but we were kind of watching the draft together. And we were like, what's going on right now, especially after the second round. But
Right.
he really nailed it. He started getting, Quez Watkins, John Hightower,
Hmm.
the Davion Taylor. I think he picked up some guys that are really going to just step right in. And, like you said, we did become younger. We are actually, I want to say, tied for the fifth youngest team now, which
Wow.
is a
We were
huge. That's a huge difference. Especially, I mean, it might have changed now that we have JP back, to be honest. But I know right before that we were around fifth or sixth, something like that. But yeah, so I'm with it. I'm loving it. So, what do you think? Obviously, we just staying on the tune of the draft. We just got word that Jalen Raeger will be flying out to Philly from Dallas today. So he's probably
Mhm.
on a flight right now. And he's going to be doing his workouts, doing his physical, and then his, going to be signing his deal. How do you feel
Right.
about Jalen Raeger?
I'm feeling good about him. I mean, he's a guy that can get up high on the ball. He's fast. He's good in and out of his cuts. I think people are sleeping on him because he didn't have a great quarterback last year. His
Terrible,
quarterback, I heard, was like you said, terrible.
horrible, horrible. Yeah, let's throw that quick fact out there real quick. He did have the highest percentage of catches on balls deemed uncatchable. So that just kind of puts it in perspective of how bad that quarterback play was. But yeah, continue, please.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just ready to see either Jalen or Deshaun Jackson running deep, maybe on a post or something, and as Shannon Sharp would say, walk it to him, tossing the rock,
Yeah,
throwing it
I'm,
deep to
I
him,
can't wait.
and just throwing dimes. I'm ready for it.
Oh, I think everybody is. And keeping on that, you just brought that up to me, Djax, man. It's great having him back. So, like, having all those, I'm going to say it like this, having all those cheetahs running on that field is going to be something very fun to watch. Just a bunch of jets going crazy.
Right.
So to keep with that, we obviously know, Jalen Rager, we want him to break out. Who do you think, maybe on the Eagles, maybe on a different team, who would you pin as somebody people should be looking out for? Like I said, it could be any team. It doesn't have to necessarily be the Eagles.
All right. Just to switch it up, so I'm not just gonna be all Eagles everything. Shout out to my boy Kenny. I was talking to a few dudes about this, like who do we think could be a breakout player? And I think one guy that could do it is AJ Brown of the Titans. I mean, he only started 11 games and had over 1,000 yards right there. So him playing a full season, having a full season under his belt, I think he's gonna have at least 1,200 yards. You figure every team's going to stack the box to stop the monster and Derrick Henry, and then you have
Yep.
him over the top. So I see good things with AJ Brown this year.
I like that kid. He's got a lot of speed, man. A lot of speed, and I feel like that's the new trend. If you're not running a 4.3 or lower, you're slow in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's crazy. And so let me give mine real quick. I'm gonna stay in the NFC East because why not? But I'm gonna go with Scary Terry McLaurin, man. I
Yeah.
love watching that kid play. He's just electrifying. He reminds me a lot. I know we talked about this earlier. He reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill. He's just a little bit taller, a little bit of a bigger guy. But the speed, the
Hmm.
route running, the shiftiness, that's it. It's just crazy to watch him play. Last year, I know he didn't get over 1,000. I think he hit around 900. Um, the kid's just electrifying, and the team sucked around him. We talk about quarterback play, and he went from one quarterback to the other,
Right.
and they both weren't that great. So and he was still
Not
making
at
plays. So
all.
that's definitely who I got to go with. But to stay in the NFC East now, we're going to kind of kitty corner it. A lot of craziness has been occurring in the NFC East. Luckily, not too much with the Eagles. We had
Yeah, we've
a
been
little bit of
sitting
drama,
pretty.
but yeah, we've been kind of calm, and it's rare for the Eagles, so I'm loving it. But we did have a little bit of, well, not a little bit, a lot of news coming out of Washington.
Yeah.
Obviously, the name change, and then the whole Gruden situation, the whole Dan Snyder situation. What were your thoughts about that? How were you feeling about that?
I mean, that just came out of nowhere. Like you figure, I don't know, you with COVID and then the name change. It's about time. Having a name called like the Redskins. I mean, it's about time that name changed.
Definitely.
But then you just toss this on top, this little cherry on top, this big bomb. It's a lot of distractions for a young team, and with a brand new head coach, with no off season or anything like that. So it's just unfortunately that's just going to be their downfall this season. It's just going to be.
Yeah.
I don't see them really competing with the rest of the NFC East with all the drama they got going on.
And it sucks because, again, like we said, we talk a lot. So I'm going to stop saying we talked about this earlier. We probably talked about it all. But the Washington Redskins have talent, and they have young
Yeah,
talent.
they have,
So
yeah, especially on that D
it
line.
sucks. Yeah, that D line is disgusting. You had Chase. I mean, I think all their D linemen, just like San Francisco, are all first round picks.
Right.
So I mean, that's just ridiculous. And they all didn't bust. None of them are busts. You know what I mean? They're all actually good D linemen.
Right.
So yeah, it sucks. And then obviously you got Dwayne Haskins kind of caught in the middle of everything. So
Right.
whatever. They're in the NFC East. If they were in a different division, maybe I'd feel a little bit worse for them. But
Yeah,
I, I definitely,
exactly.
I definitely agree with you. That's most likely going to be their downfall, unfortunately. So that brings me to another NFC East team. I'm going to save the Cowboys for last because I think we're going to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, the Giants getting a little bit better. They have a new coach, and they obviously, have a couple of arrests or anything. It's no big deal, just some normal stuff for them. But what do you think about the changes that they have been making, and what Saquon can do this year?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hope that Saquon can really stay healthy this year. Last year, he was a little banged up at times, but he's still Saquon Barkley. The guy is just phenomenal, super strong, fast. The key is you got Jason Garrett, aka the Clapper, as their offensive coordinator now. So you saw when he was the head coach for Dallas that Zeke wasn't getting some of the touches in the big moments that he should have. Will that kind of carry over with Saquon? I don't know, but part of me kind of hopes so because obviously they're in our division. But just as a fan of Saquon, you kind of hope that he really gets utilized the way he should, and the rest of the team kind of plays well around him, so they're also not burning him to the ground.
Definitely. That's a very good point. And speaking of Jason Garrett, I think that's a perfect segue to the next question. So, the Dallas Cowboys. It's crazy over there. Like I said to you before, I think that they are Dak injury away from that whole ship just sinking. And it's not even his talent. I think it's more so the image that the team is putting out right now. You obviously don't trust him.
Right.
So if you don't trust him, you don't pay him, he gets hurt, then what? What are your thoughts about what's going on in Dallas? Do you think they should have paid Dak, or do you think they made the right decision?
I mean, I think they should have paid Dak. Maybe Dak was asking a little too much, but Jerry Jones knows what he's doing. I know a lot of Cowboys fans who are saying that they just needed a backup, but the fact that they signed a starter and Andy Dalton to be a backup, that just
Very
kind
good
of
point.
that shut down Dak's whole his leg up on the whole situation. So I think Dak has a lot to worry about this year because, like you said, as soon as he gets injured, it's pretty much a wrap at that point. You're not going to be able to get the contract you want. Chances are you're probably going to get franchise tagged again. So it's just like, I hope there's a lot of drama going on, but I feel for Dak though. He's a pretty good quarterback. Can't lie about that. His numbers say it all. Stats don't lie. So
his are a little bit misleading, but I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, a lot of his stats are like garbage time. But I know what you're saying. He's definitely a quarterback worth having, quarterback worth the money. Not maybe not 35 to 40.
Not Mahomes money, but like
definitely not Mahomes money. No,
your average quarterback money.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could have got the same deal that Carson got. I think that's very fair. I think we stole Carson. I think people were a little bit like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? You guys paid him out the butt." I think it's looking really good right now.
It's looking good now. Back then it was like, whoa, but now it's just like, well, good thing we made that move early. He still had 2 years left on the contract and everything.
Yeah.
If we try to sign him now, it would be I don't even want to think of the numbers.
If we were to try to sign him even next year, or if we would just franchise, the franchise tag, I think is maybe $5 more mil than he's actually making.
Right.
Because I think because he's making 30 a year now. Mm-hmm. Something like that. I know the franchise tag is more than what we're actually paying him, so it's a bargain.
Right.
He's proven that he can lead a team, something Dak to me has not proven. And that's not no shade. Like I said, I think he is a good quarterback. He's definitely worth some money, but they got
their own. They got their own mess going on. Then they got to figure out who's going to be their number one wide receiver. You just paid Cooper, but then you also gave CeeDee Lamb the covenant number 88 because number 88 in Dallas is always the number one killer receiver. So I'm curious to see what happens there. Does Gallup get thrown away? Like what happens to Gallup now? I don't even know.
Yeah, very true. And Amari Cooper is soft, man. Mentally he's soft. So my thing is we saw it. I mean, and it's not. It is shade. I'm not gonna say it not. But I feel like we all saw it last year when the game is on the line. Right. Amari Cooper is usually on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, especially in that final Eagles game.
I was just gonna say for Sidney Jones to be covering Gallup on a game-winning play.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Sid did his thing, good for him. But that should have been Amari. What are you doing, guys? That's crazy. So that actually brings me to another point. So we were talking about if Dak gets injured. Obviously, the Eagles have had to deal with an injury bug of their own for the past 5 years, at least since Chip has been gone. But we did just change up the whole medical staff, and it's something I feel like people aren't really talking about enough. So how do you feel about that? Do you expect big things from this medical staff? Are you excited?
I mean, yeah, you can only be excited because the last couple of years has just been terrible when it comes to injuries. All our key players, I feel like, are always getting hurt between obviously the Carson Wentz but then you also had all the other players what's his name? Linebacker. He was always, what's his name? Jordan.
Jordan Hicks.
Yeah, Jordan Hicks. He was hurt all the time. Almost every year he was on the Eagles. Then he goes to the Cardinals. I don't think he was hurt once. He played every game, and he had he had a lot of tackles. He was killing it. So it's just was it our medical staff? Those are the kind of questions. So you could only hope and be excited that this new medical staff comes in and really gets the players into the shape that they need to be and really looking after them post games and practices and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to go back to that medical science stuff. Whatever Chip was doing, man.
The only good thing.
That's the only thing he did. We need to go back to some of that stuff. And if you look at the 2017 season, we fired our whole medical staff after the Super Bowl, and I don't know if that was the best decision because people were coming back, and that was something that also we were saying, the evaluations and taking care of players as they come back is very, very big. Injuries happen, obviously. They happen to every team. Right. But it's about the rehab. You know what I mean? We brought Deshaun Jackson back too early. We brought, in my opinion, Carson Wentz back too early. And the list goes on. There's a lot of Jalen Mills. There's a lot of people that just don't come back from injury as they should or as quickly as they should or at the right time. So that's something I definitely want to see done well, done way better, I should say.
All right, you guys, this is where I'm going to do the shout outs. All going to be all up in front of me. You know how we get down. I appreciate you guys checking in, staying locked with Philly the podcast. If you want your own shout out, just go head over to Instagram and follow Philly TP. It's that simple. I do it for everybody because I love you guys. All right, now back to the video, man.
So now that we've kind of went over the NFC East, let me get your prediction on how you think the NFC East will go, kind of like top to the bottom. Who do you see where?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to put the Eagles up top. I mean, I'm not,
of course,
there's no other answer to that. So you got the Eagles winning the NFC East, and then following that, I really do think it's going to go like Cowboys, Giants, and Redskins. Redskins, like we talked about, they have some solid young players, but they have a lot of distractions going on. So that'd be a lot to overcome. The Giants, they have Saquon, but they also have a new rookie head coach. And then the Cowboys, on paper, they're a pretty fierce team, but you kind of just hope that they fall out and they run through the Dak drama of not signing him or anything like that. So that's my order there.
Drama everywhere, man.
What about you? What do you think?
Oh, I got Eagles. Honestly, I got Eagles. I got Giants at number 2.
Oh boy,
I think the Giants, man. I like their team. I do, and I think the Cowboys are going to self-destruct. I really think that Dak Prescott situation is way more dire than a lot of people are realizing.
Okay.
He can't be happy.
Oh no! Did you see his brother's tweet?
Yeah.
His brother blew up about it.
And like I said, don't be an Eagles fan. Go be like a Washington Redskins fan or something. Like we don't want that energy. We don't need no Dak energy, no Prescotts on the Eagles. We're good, man. But yeah, so I think it would be the Eagles, the Giants, then the Cowboys, and then the Redskins. Obviously, I think that's kind of everybody thinks that. I'm not gonna lie. So all right. So last question. I did it. So now you have to do it, bro. I need your Super Bowl picks. I need a score, too. We're going all the way with it.
All right. So on the AFC side, I'm going to switch it up here. I know a lot of people think the Chiefs are going to repeat. Like, I think you have that in your choice. But I'm going to go ahead and say the Ravens get over the hump. Lamar Jackson, that dude he's just electric. He's phenomenal. I think they get over the hump this time. And then they'll play the fan favorite right now, the Buccaneers. I have a good amount of Buccaneer fans that are super hype about this. I mean, they're in the win it all. This is it. This year and maybe even next year. After that, Tom Brady's gone. That dude, he only has 2 years left. Although, who knows? I mean, this could be his last year. But I'll give it to them right now. And I say the Ravens win it 24-17.
Okay, so we're close in score. Mine was 27-17, just different teams. I like it. Like I said, I live in St. Pete now, so you know that. And, I would love for Tampa to make the playoffs and make it pretty far and then lose to the Eagles. This way I can see the Eagles, you know what I mean, twice in a row. Hey, that would be awesome.
That'd be pretty fire.
Oh, yeah, and you already know. You got a ticket on your way, you know what I'm saying? You out here. If we make the Super Bowl, it's a wrap.
Seriously.
But all right, we're going to end it here, man. That was long enough. So we're going to start doing some – now I'm talking to other people. I'm talking to you no more. But we're going to start doing this more often, guys. We'll get Brandon on here more often. We'll probably start switching it to lives if he's cool with that. We'll get you guys involved, you know what I'm saying? So, that is what it is. Other than that, it's fly. Eagles fly. And we out here. Peace. ¿Cómo se llama?